Well, hello and welcome to GYVOCY Live. This is episode 6. My name's Glyn Watson and this is
Trevor Casey.
Right, so let me just turn that music off because I'm sure that's annoying you. It's annoying me. Is it annoying you?
It's not annoying me as much as the name.
The name?
GYVOCY. You told me you were going to work on that.
Well, I will work on it, but we need suggestions.
Okay.
Because GY stands for Generate Youth, which is the youth group here at Sussex Street Christian Centre. But, well, it's not a but, and VOCY stands for Vale of Clwyd Youth. I have two jobs, really. One job is part-time here at Sussex Street Christian Centre as the youth minister. Trevor is the full-time, full-blown head honcho at Sussex Street. He's the minister at Sussex Street, and I am also the Dyffryn Clwyd or Vale of Clwyd Youth Missioner. So that's pretty much the breakdown of the name, and the channel that you are now watching is basically for any young person or anyone who's interested in having a bit of fun and listening to some cool interviews, which today we have a very special guest. I do have a drum roll sound effect on my computer.
Go on, do it.
But it would mean me turning away from the camera. That is Alan Finnegan. Now, Alan Finnegan is a minister from... Well, he's somewhere in Liverpool. Netherton in Liverpool. And he's a minister and he's a BGT contestant. But he has the reason why he's a BGT contestant is because he is passionate and he's a really good comedian, isn't he?
He's a very good comedian.
He's a very good comedian. And
he's
that's
a very funny man.
He is a very funny man, you're right. And if any of you who may be watching or watching in the future, you may have had the chance to see him at a live performance at Rhyddlyn Community Centre, which was a comedy night that I organised about 3 or 4 years ago. Yes, and he emceed it. It's a long time ago. So, yeah, if you were there, watch him on TV. Okay?
Cool.
So that's our interview for today, and as usual, we'll be having a small challenge. What are you looking at? What's wrong? Oh, right, okay, no worries. There'll be a small challenge for you and a big challenge for me. Over the past few weeks, what have I done? What have I done? I have eaten a dessert spoonful of Marmite. I have pegged how many pegs to my face, which wasn't a world record, I know, but it was really painful.
It wasn't very comfortable, was it?
No, it wasn't comfortable at all. That was 28, I think, if my memory serves me right.
It was quite a lot.
It was quite a lot. I've ate 3 raw eggs, a raw omelette.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was a couple of weeks ago, which wasn't particularly pleasant at all. But...
ping pong challenge last week.
Oh, the ping pong challenge,
which neither of us managed to do.
No, none of us. None of us? Neither of us.
That as well.
That as well. None of us. Let's get on with these rooted questions, which is a new thing we brought to the channel this last week, which Trevor's going to give me he's going to show me a card, or I'm going to pick a card,
which one
and I'm going to ask the question at the back of it. Okay, I'll take this one. Okay. Ooh, I know. Again, I know the answer to that. Yeah.
Go on then.
Who do you trust the most?
God.
God.
Isn't that the right answer?
It's not. To be fair, I'm glad you said that, but I'm also. I thought you would have said Mandy for sort of like Oz.
Oh, I see. Oh, right. Okay. Well, as a minister.
Yeah.
That is a good question, though.
It's a great question.
So, as a Christian, as a minister of his church, sometimes I've got to be honest. It's hard to actually be honest and say, do I really trust God that much? Would I do exactly what he said if I thought that was God speaking? Yeah, that's a very good question. How about you?
Well, who do I trust the most? Well, It has to be God, doesn't it? Let's be honest. I only said what I said to wind you up, but it's true. God has been the most, and you know, probably my mum or members of my family who have come to my aid in the time where I've needed them, and they are incredibly trustworthy. But I would say that God has been there throughout every single moment.
Okay, good. Yeah, should we move on?
I feel really awkward saying that now. It's like, oh. But anyway, so we've used that card, and we'll come back to that in a bit. Now, as you notice at the bottom here, just there, the box, it says GY next to it, and then welcome. If you happen to like throughout the course of this this show today, if you happen to like it, then please subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get instant notifications as to when we upload new content or we are going live in our next show, which happens every Wednesday between 4 and 5 o'clock. And sometimes they run over a little bit, which isn't a problem because we have fun and we hope that you are enjoying the show. So if they run a little longer and you're enjoying them, all the well and better. If you would like to comment at all on anything that is said, if you want to ask us any questions, then Trevor's here with his pad. I'm not going to brand name. Other brands may vary.
Of tablet.
Yes, exactly. So if you'd like to comment on anything that's said or like to ask us a question, then Trevor will be keeping an eye out on that. You can ask them on Facebook or on YouTube. So yeah, get writing in. Let's have another question before we move forward.
Okay.
Oh, I've got to show you them now, haven't I? Well, not show you them, but you've got to choose one, and then you've got to ask me.
I'm going to have that one.
Oh, please, God, let it be really awkward.
If I could choose it by looking at all the questions, that would be all the better, wouldn't it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, this is interesting. So we've just, what was the first question?
What? Oh, who do you trust the most?
Who do you trust the most?
Oh, let me see. It's the negative side of it. No, now, who do you trust the least?
So this is the next question.
Okay, go on.
So what do you think the word trust means? What do you think the word trust means?
Being able to rely on someone fully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's trust.
So, in its simplest form, if I left a £20 note lying around,
yeah, go on.
I could trust you
not to steal
not to steal it.
Okay.
So that would.
But you could trust me to take it if you gave it me.
I haven't got any money, so you can't have it. Okay, but that's an interesting. Again, you know, we haven't set that up. It couldn't even appear that we were, surely.
No.
But
they are all different.
You know,
they are all different. It's like 60 odd cards here. So.
And yeah, so the follow on to who do you trust is what does trust mean? And it could mean different things for different people at different times, I guess.
It could do, and I'm just double checking my sound here because it's bobbing up and down, which is fine. Did I just gave you a question, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. You asked me, what does it mean?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just, my head's just gone really blank for it. And you're back in the room.
Okay, so do you want to rewind that section and we'll start that again?
No, it's fine. Every Friday, I run, and Trevor's involved in this, a Zoom meeting. Now, because of lockdown, the youth club hasn't been able to run, so we've put on a Zoom meeting for the young people of the area that we're involved with, and we have opened it up to others as well. And now we extend this invitation to you. If you are between the ages of 12 and 18, that's exclusive. You know, you can't be 19 and you can't be 11. You've got to be 12 upwards to 18, okay? Then please go to the Generate Youth group page, which is an extension of this. I will put a link in the group for you to access. Become a member and you will get the invitation to this Friday's Zoom meeting, where there will be games, there'll be chat, there'll be introductions and all that sort of thing. And you can ask us a little easier the questions and get to know us a bit better. Okay, so that's that. How about a youth challenge? Now, the funny thing is, over the last few weeks, well, since we begun really,
what is going on?
You haven't really got behind the idea of me setting you challenges. And that is fine, isn't it? That's fine. It's just not rocking your boat, and that's fine. Not a problem. No, it's fine. It's fine. So, what you can do is continue sending me challenges, suggestions of things that I need to do, as long as they're not illegal, immoral, or fattening, or unsafe, then I will do them. Next week's challenge is going... I'm looking at him because...
Shocked that you put immoral, unsafe and fattening all in the same sentence.
Well, I had to, because I think in the first episode I turned around and said, look, you know, as long as the things aren't illegal, immoral, unsafe or fattening, one being, if someone gives me the challenge of eating a whole block of butter, that really is unhealthy. Yeah, it's a horrible idea, isn't it?
Not be good.
No, it wouldn't. Or a block of lard.
Alan's in.
Oh, I know. I'm waiting.
You're waiting.
Yeah. So please send us your suggestions on what you would like me to do. Also, send us some things to talk about, suggestions of topics that you would like us to discuss, because we would quite happily answer any questions that you have in regards to anything, because anything's up for discussion in this channel.
Yeah.
Anything to add to that?
No.
Nope. Okay. Well, I think at this point we are going to move over to our special guest, our special interview today with Alan Finnegan. So hopefully if I just close this and then move my mouse over, here he is. Can you all see him?
Yep.
All right, there's my cursor. I've just got to move that. Hello, Alan, can you hear me?
I can.
Ah,
You hear me?
how are you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm sound.
You look
Good.
like you're in Netherton Police Station.
Yeah, it's our church's office, isn't it? My office.
So,
It's
well,
the same thing.
it's the same thing. Oh, okay. So, welcome, Alan, to GYVOCY. That stands for Generate Youth and Vale Clwyd Youth, for you to
That
know
rolls off
exactly
the
what that
tongue, doesn't
means. Sorry, Alan?
That rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yes, it was in. Yes, it does. It does indeed. Okay, so hopefully you can still hear us,
Yeah.
because this is being really strange again. Okay, so Alan, you're here to talk about your experiences about being a minister and also being a BGT contestant and the journey you've been on since applying, but also how, and you've had a few questions from me to prepare, but I've done a little bit of an introduction and Trevor's done a bit of an introduction to you, but why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, my name's Alan. Alan Finnegan. I'm from Bootle. I'm a minister of a church now. I trained with Trevor. I trained forever, though. That was the only difference. I'm married, been married over 30 years. I've got 2 kids who are 29 and 27, I think. I'm not even sure how old they are. Got a dog, which is nearly dead. And yeah, I've been a minister in Emmanuel Baptist Church for 15 years. I've been in the church for how long is it? 37 years. So yeah, I've been around a while. Yeah, and I'm now on more tablets than I was in the 80s. So there you go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get diabetes. Bad for you.
So, tell us a little bit about your journey with BGT then.
Britain's Got Talent is it's not something that I thought of applying for. I was kind of approached to apply. But then once asked, I was like, yeah, why not? Let's give it a go. I have interviewed kind of twice in the past, not before judges though, just for producer stuff.
Right.
And not got nowhere. But this time I was put through to judges, and people may not have seen the outcome of that. And that was a bizarre process, going down to London, getting there for leaving the house at stupid o'clock in the morning to get there for 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
The London Palladium, to play the London Palladium was a very weird, very bizarre. But it was a really long day. I didn't leave there till gone 8 o'clock in the night.
Wow.
You're on stage for about 10 minutes all that time. The rest of the time spent doing social media and interviews and other stuff, just in case you get through. Because obviously you don't know until that point. It was a very weird and bizarre day. I remember walking down the street afterwards, just thinking to myself, did that just happen? Was that real? Or have I dreamt this? I've just been on the London Palladium, got a standing ovation of not just the judges, but like the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm not even the funniest comedian in our church. You need to understand that. Right? Never mind anything else. So it was very, very bizarre. I'd started talking to the BGT production team probably November time.
Right.
And my interview was in the end of January. That performance was the end of January. So it's quite a drawn-out process.
Yeah. And how's lockdown affected that, do you think?
Well, the show's suspended, isn't it?
Yeah.
As we speak, suspended, possibly later to be aired later in the year sometime. So it's definitely affected the show. They were due to come and do some filming in the Liverpool area and had to cancel that. It's proper affected it. Proper, possibly negatively. I'm hearing that it might end up that there might not be any audience in the live semi-finals if I get through, of course.
Well, yeah.
But there might not be any audience, which would just be a nightmare for a comedian, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course it would be. Yeah. Well, that'd be terrible.
I've done gigs with empty pubs before, they're never good. Yeah.
So, this is the funny thing, is that young people, right, they all look at, if only I was rich, if only I was famous. What has happened to you, and what have you gained? What sort of, from your experiences, what would you consider the good things and the bad things, the negatives of this experience so far?
Well, I'm not really sure what the good things are yet, because we've been on lockdown ever since. Well, when it was aired, we were on lockdown. So, every time I've got a mask on. No one knows who I am. It's amazing. So the positive things, I don't know what they are yet.
Okay.
Because I don't know whether I'm famous, really, to be fair.
You've had interviews with Lorraine. You've had all kinds of interviews, haven't you? Yes.
Yeah, I've had quite a few, yes. So, yeah, maybe very, very slightly famous. But it's, I guess, a funny story about it is I was in Aldi the other day getting some shopping. Right. And I get to the till and the fella's looking at me. And I'm thinking, oh, don't, mate, And he's looking at me and he's looking at me and he said, hey, you don't mind me saying, mate, you look like that fella off Downton Abbey. I said, is it the eyebrows, mate? What? But the negative sides of it are kind of obvious, and yet they still affect you, I would say. The negative side is the social media stuff, the people making comments about you that don't know you, don't know your story, don't know where you've come from, but say some not nice things about you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even though you might have 100 positive comments, you kind of still focus on that one negative comment. Facebook, Twitter, that type of stuff. I guess the negative side of fame, if that's what I've got, is that you often wonder, and you kind of prepped with this, with the Britain's Got Talent team, on whether your family will tell stories on you, you know, because you haven't always been acted in the best way that you possibly could have in the past. But that remains to be seen yet. That hasn't happened yet. It's I guess the negative side is that people do recognise you, but there can be a kind of cynicism in that. And the positives I'm yet to feel the benefits of, shall we say? Yeah.
And you have a publicity team. You've got your own Facebook page. You've got your own Twitter account now, and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I can imagine the comments are flying in, and the criticism and the praise is coming in.
Yeah.
It must have come in droves.
I've got the same manager as Queen.
Well, honestly, how amazing is that?
Silly, innit?
Yeah, that's cool.
I've got the same PR team as One Direction.
Are we talking about the positive things now?
Exactly. They don't even know who I am. Seriously, they don't even know who I am. Honestly.
So, how do you, as a minister who was known to a small group of your parishioners and so on, and then you've been on Britain's Got Talent, how's your congregation, how the people that you minister to, how have they responded to it? Are they egging you on, or?
They're all very well. Most of them are, the ones that tell me, are all very supportive. But again, we went into lockdown before it was kind of aired. Okay. So I haven't seen any of them. So
no, I guess not, no. Yeah.
So it's hard to tell. And the ones, as you know, maybe not. The ones that don't like stuff don't normally tell you. They normally leave a note under your door anonymously or something like that. Yeah. You'll get used to that if that hasn't happened to you yet.
No, it's happened. You know, don't worry.
Yeah, or you meet them at the door of your church and they want to batter you. Do that.
That hasn't happened. That hasn't happened to me yet. Yeah.
No. So that's it. They've been, I would say, mostly supporting me. I've been doing comedy for a number of years now. They've known that for a number of years. It hasn't just happened, if you get what I'm saying. It's took a long journey to get there, many miles on that M6, which I hate the M6. And, you know, gigs to Two Man and His Dog and bigger gigs. It isn't just like you rock up on Britain's Got Talent. There is a backstory to it. So most of them have been very supportive over the years. Although I would say the biggest criticism I've had off the back of Britain's Got Talent has come from Christians, I would say. And I get it, because I'm talking about that type of stuff. And maybe a minister shouldn't do that. So I get, that's not me being nasty towards them. I get it. I get why they might be upset with me. Yeah. But again, most of them don't know me and don't know my story and why I do it, why I go to comedy clubs, how I got involved in the story of what motivates me to do this. They just see me telling me, you know, contactless joke and get really offended that a minister's talking about his love life on the television. I think you'll find that I actually was talking about the lack of a love life, not a love life, but that's just a minor point. So,
what do you mean by love life, Alan?
I don't know, Trev. It's like a distant memory, mate. I'd rather have a bowl of soup now, you know.
But I think what's important is that yes, the topics, that especially in your audition piece, was that it's a bit of a taboo subject, or it isn't talked about very frequently, let's say, or openly within Christian spheres. Probably not as much as it should, but you bringing it to the public forum like that and being able to have a bit of fun with it can possibly cut through that tabooism, if that's a word. Do you think that's... why did you choose that material, do you think?
Well, because they wouldn't let me do my smackhead joke.
Okay, right.
Yeah, neither will we.
They love that joke, but they wouldn't let me do it. So, basically, your set has to be approved by them.
Yeah.
For compliance reasons and all sorts of other stuff. Mm-hmm. And my performance on BGT was probably more than twice as long as what they showed. They edited down quite a lot.
Wow.
They get a bit worried about offending people with stuff. So
yeah, of course,
I wasn't allowed to do certain jokes. Not because they're, I think, particularly in bad taste. It's just that they get people complaining for all sorts of reasons. And I had an initial interview with the producers, the head producers, and the lawyers of Sony and all this sort of stuff before they aired my thing, because they were worried that I would be someone who would get quite a lot of negative feedback because of what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But in fairness, it's mostly been positive, just them few that I'm surprised I didn't get more stick, if I'm honest.
Well, no, from the form, what was the total time of that clip that they shown on BGT? It was about 2-3 minutes, wasn't it?
I think my set, there's two clips, like one's 2.5 minutes, I think. But I was on stage for about 5 minutes, something. I was actually on stage longer, but on the show they show you before and after a little bit, which is about 5 minutes.
Okay.
So, yeah, but 2.5 minutes. I
So
probably did a 5-minute set, probably.
How long did
That's
it take you to plan that set then? How long did it take you to set that, to prepare that, Alex?
Well, a lot of it was stuff that I've been saying for a while, if you get what I mean. But I had to change the order of it, change some words. I wasn't allowed to say certain words.
Of course.
And I had to change the order of it, and then they had to agree it, and don't say this, say this, write this bit a bit better. So it felt a bit like a newish routine. But it probably took a month or two.
Wow. Yeah.
To edit it down to what you see.
And to be fair, the people don't often see all the planning and the preparation and the training and the timing and all the things and all the mechanics that go into what you did on that night.
I mean, the contactless joke, I actually started with that joke. They edited it, so I started with another joke.
Oh, right. But
I started with that, married 30 years. That joke alone took me over a week to write when I was on holiday. I sat by the pool every day trying to write that joke. It started off with just the contactless line. And it literally took a week to write that joke, which is what? I don't know, 40 seconds, is it?
Yeah. But still.
Did you get me?
Yeah. So
a lot goes into the background of writing comedy. And then,
it's a craft, isn't it?
It's harder than it looks,
Like everything.
Yes. What would you say to a young person who wants to be famous and chooses to go down the route of Britain's Got Talent to get there or to become famous?
Well, I'd say give it a go. What you've got to understand is that not everyone can be famous. You just can't. There's probably don't build your hopes on getting on Britain's Got Talent and doing any, because they're making a television show at the end of the day. And one of the things they said to us was, this is not a talent contest. This is a popularity contest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
The talented people don't always win. It's the popular person that wins, which is interesting, because we are in a celebrity obsessed culture, and to get famous fast is the way to do it. So the YouTube stuff and Instagram stuff and all that is the way to do it, or the way people are trying to do it. But fame can come and it can go just as quickly. I think our lives need to possibly be built on something more important than that. I mean, if you become, I wouldn't say don't become famous, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It depends what you become famous for, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
No one wants to be that guy.
No.
But I would say, yeah, if you're talented or good at something, why not do Britain's Got Talent? Why not?
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? You can get on, get buzzed off.
I think you've touched on something important there, is that if you're good at something, go at it and work at it until you're the best or close to the best, or just try your best. That's something that you're passionate about. Is that fair? So, but
be the best,
like
best you can be. Yeah,
exactly. So, do you think that there's something more important as each as individuals and as human beings? Is there something that we should aspire to that is higher than the likes of fame, the likes of money, even likes on Facebook or YouTube and subscriptions and all that?
I think part of the way Jesus ends up summing the law up, doesn't he? He ends up summing it up in love God, love your neighbour. I would say, be a good neighbour.
Okay.
Whatever. I don't just mean the person who lives next door to you. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I be a good neighbour, a good person to other people as much as you possibly can. We can't always do much, but you're better off living your life in a way that blesses others. I mean, we all like to get stuff, but isn't it great when you do something for someone else and you see the pleasure they get out of it? So I would say that's because ultimately you might get famous. I know that there's far better comedians than me on the circuit, much better than me, that will now be less known than me to a degree, but they're well better than me. And not through any fault of their own that they haven't got a lucky break. You could say I've had a lucky break to a degree. But it doesn't mean they're not talented. Some of them are absolutely brilliant, but just it hasn't happened. And it happens in every sphere. It's not just the television or whatever industry. It happens in football. It happens in everything.
Yeah.
That it's not always, you don't always get what you kind of deserve in that way. And so fame's very abstract. It can come and go quite quickly. But do something that maybe makes a difference and fulfills you. I would say, be that. Try and be a person that blesses others is where I've got to in my life, I would say.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Alan, for that. So am I to say that would be the little wisdom, the little nugget of wisdom at the end that you would have said, or have you got something else for us?
I would say, I guess I would say it's more important to find out who you're supposed to be.
Okay.
One of the things about comedy is anyone can get up and tell jokes to a degree. But you've got to, everyone talks about finding your comic voice, being you, if you get what I mean, in that. And that takes a while. That takes performances and doing it and failing having terrible gigs in Hull. But find out what you're meant to be and do that to the best of your ability. You might never get any, notoriety for it, but do that to the best of your ability. I mean, I was called to be and work at it for a long time. I was called to be a minister 18 years before I ended up going to college, right? I got into comedy training to be a minister. That's how good our college was. And I've been doing that for 8 years now, traveling the length and breadth of Britain and doing rubbish gigs, and me being rubbish, not just rubbish gigs, me being rubbish. This idea of overnight success is very rare for some people. Don't build your life trying to get over life success, but find out who you're supposed to be and then be the best that you can be at that, whatever that is.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I think that sort of rings true, without wanting to mention names, but as a minister, you're supposed to find out who you are and present yourself completely with everything about you bring to the table as a minister, don't you? It's pointless to be someone else. You have to bring your whole self, your personality and everything. So finding out who you are is actually really liberating. It's freeing, isn't it?
It is. You've got to be yourself, because what happens is people can spot if you're being phony.
Yeah.
They can just smell it. But you may as well be authentically you.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? God is all right with you.
Yeah.
He's all right with you. He actually likes you. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
You can't surprise him. He likes you. I mean, get that. Who'd have thought God likes us, but be authentically you. That's when you start to feel comfortable in your own skin. And I'm not just talking about body image there or anything like that. I'm talking about your personality, your traits, your failings, etc. That's when it becomes liberating, when you realize that, you know what, God's the person that knows me best and yet still likes me the most.
Yeah. No, that's good. No, that's really good.
Yeah.
Well, can I just say a big thank you to you for giving us your time and sharing with us your experiences on BGT and your insight into quite a few topics there, speaking about identity, authenticity, and going after something that you're passionate about and working at it with the best of your ability to achieve as much as you possibly can. But it may not mean fame. No.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for spending this time with us. If you would like to send a comment through to us, I'm talking to the audience here now, Alan, just bear with us, is that if you'd like to send a comment to us on our channel, on the YouTube comments, then do that. And if you've got any questions for Alan, perhaps, I'm throwing him kind of a curveball here, I'm cutting him a line here, is that he may even respond to one or two questions. Or if you liked him, and don't send any negative comments.
Search him out on YouTube. Search him out.
Search him out on YouTube. Anyway,
watch this space.
Exactly, watch this space. Alan, it's been a pleasure, and thank you very much for your time again.
All right, no problem. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Alan. All right,
have a good one, mate. I will talk to you soon.
Be blessed.
Be blessed. Bye for now.
And you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
There we go. Big round of applause for the Reverend Alan Finnegan.
Woo!
The crowd goes wild.
Right. So, if I just... Trevor, what's next?
I think we're going to have to do the challenge.
Oh, is this my challenge?
Well, I've noticed that you've put my challenge, but actually...
It's our challenge,
I thought today, you've moaned at me the last couple of weeks.
And so I should moan at you.
Why have I got to do it all the time? So today we have got a challenge that we are both going to do.
Right.
So you will need
I'm watching you.
2 bowls.
Yeah.
There we go. So
Okay.
because of
So I've
social
got 2 bowls.
distancing, there you go.
Does it matter which way they're around?
It doesn't going to make any difference whatsoever.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got 2 bowls.
Yeah.
Let me just hold that up. So we've got an empty bowl here.
Empty
and
bowl
then
here.
We've got a bowl with 4
Ball.
table tennis balls in. Okay, and the challenge today is that without using your hands, so only using your mouth, you've got to use the spoon you need to just lift your spoon so it's not got a table tennis ball on it already, because that would be cheating, obviously.
I can see where this is going. Have you got to use this end?
So, no, you've got to lift. You can't flick the table tennis balls. You've got to lift them using the spoon. Using the spoon.
Using the spoon.
The first person to get all 4 table tennis balls from one bowl into the other using the spoon.
Did you say that you've been practicing this today?
I did tell you that earlier on, but I haven't really. If you are the first, you have the choice whether to take the chomp or the biscuit. But obviously, it's not as easy as just taking the chomp or the biscuit. What you have to do is do the face challenge, the cookie face challenge. If you're not sure what that is, you put the cookie on your forehead, so you'll have to lean your head back, and then you've got to manoeuvre the cookie, or the chomp in this case, down your face and into your mouth and consume it. So it's up to you whether you think the cookie or the chomp is the better reward for managing to get the 4 table tennis balls from one container to the other.
Well, we can always try, can't we?
We can try. So I reckon we've probably got, let's say, a minute to get the table tennis balls over and see who wins. So in the famous words of people on the telly box and all that, are you ready?
On the telly box.
We should have some background music or something for this, shouldn't we? Because you're not going to be able to talk when you've got well, I suppose you could try. If you can commentate and have a spoon in your mouth. There we go. Right, are you ready? So which one are you going to choose, Glenn?
I'm going to choose a chomp, but I want to see you do the.
Okay, so I'm having this. You're going to put the chomp on your forehead and move it down.
I didn't hear that bit.
I said.
Oh, I know. I did. Yeah, I said I didn't hear it.
To take the chomp or the cookie and do the cookie challenge or cookie face challenge by putting the item on your forehead and moving it down. So you chose the chomp. So you open the chomp up.
Oh, okay.
And rest it on your forehead. I'll rest the cookie on my forehead.
Why isn't this opening? I didn't hear you put it on your forehead. That's why I didn't hear that bit. I was focused on something else. I'm sorry.
So that's why I was saying it was a bit of a challenge as to
it's
which
definitely
would be
a challenge. Oh, go on then.
Best.
Right.
Okay.
So,
are you ready?
No.
Get in position. Head back.
Okay, go on then.
And 3, 2, 1, go.
This is probably what you have practiced before. Oh, it just looks like a turd on my face.
Dropped it. Target.
You got it?
No, I dropped it.
You know what I mean?
You've done it. You didn't get a chocolate all over you, which is what I thought was going on.
Well, I've got a cold forehead.
Oh,
you missed it again. Oh no.
So there you go. If you want to do a bit of a challenge, you could try moving the table tennis balls from one container to another. If you haven't got the facilities to do that, maybe just try doing the cookie challenge. film yourself and see how long it takes for you to get the...
Still chewing this chunk. It's like glued my mouth to go.
From your forehead into your mouth and consumed within the least amount of time.
Yeah, record yourselves doing it for us. Give us a laugh.
Send it in, and we'll have a smile about that.
Oh, we will.
You probably need a drink now, don't you?
Oh, chomps are lovely, but they
stick your mouth together. Let's have a clear
I've
up.
still got half here.
Yeah,
Anyway,
save that for later.
notices. Leave us some comments if you've liked it. Again, share and also like and subscribe. So, I haven't got any other notices apart from that. We hope you've enjoyed the show.
What's happening this week? You said about Gen Youth Friday night. What time Friday night?
So it goes live from 6 until 7, and if you would like to get the details for that meeting, then I will leave a link in the description of this video on YouTube, and it will give you the details to the Generate Youth page, where you'd have to become a member of the group, and on there you will be invited or have the details to the Zoom meeting.
Brilliant.
Okay.
There we are.
Is that it?
I think so.
Okay. Well, guys, it's been fun, it's been a pleasure, and it's been emotional.
And thanks again to Alan Finnegan. Don't forget, look him up on YouTube. And,
a bit stuck in my teeth.
have a quick look at him. As Glyn said, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again same time next week.
Same time, same place. Was that your stomach?
It was.
Goodness me! Did you hear that? It's like something's alive in there. Anyway, on that note...
You're not supposed to draw attention to things like that. It was going so well.
All right, bye for now.
Bye for now.